Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spiritual Boss Babe, day 3 of the Masterclass. I'm so excited to be here, and today is going to be really potent. The last 2 days have been really potent as well, so make sure you go check out day 1 and day 2 if you haven't done so already. But it doesn't mean that you can't listen to this one first, right? Because in my opinion, that I don't believe that time is linear. And I believe we can hop, skip, and jump. We can come back and we can catch up and all the different things as well. Especially if you're a manifest generator, it is your job not to go with the rules. So if you're here and this is the first time you have watched this, hello and welcome. There is another 2 masterclasses as well. So over the last 3 days, my intention has been to bring you my experience on how I have created a life of health, wealth, of love, of abundance and joy by being who I am, by coming into who I am, by cleaning up any money wounds that I have, and really allowing myself to be all of who I be unapologetically. And of course, my purpose, and we're going to talk a little bit about purpose and why today, is to share this, is to make an impact in the world and to help others like yourself embody your greatness that is already within. Okay? So quite often we're trying to get to the point over there, but all we have is now. All we have is now. Yeah, we hear that all the time. Everyone gets sick of hearing that. But all we have is now, because when you're over there, you're still going to be here. It's still going to be the now. It's always the here and now, always. So wherever we think that life is going to get better, when we get to that point, yada, 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 we may be missing a point. That we have to be okay and present in the now. Now, there's a couple of little things here, right? So first of all is, yes, the future's going to come, and yes, you can do things to make it a smooth journey and to get to the point, the targets that you are choosing. But when it comes to manifestation and abundance, which are 2 different things, to be completely honest, it's really, really important to know that you must feel the feelings of when you receive those things. Like when you want a new house, right? If you're like, I want a new house, I want a new house, I want a new house. When I get a new house, I'll be happy. You won't be happy when you get the new house. But if you're sitting in the energy, go, I want that new house. I'm choosing the new house. I'm excited because the new house is going to come. And you're sitting in the energy in the here and now going, oh, I've got the new house. It's already in my vortex. It's already coming. It's coming in the divine timing. I'm so excited. And when I'm in my new house, I'm going to go swimming in my new pool and everything is grand and glorious and beautiful. And then you walk around in your day like you have the house. Then you're getting somewhere. Because when you do get to the house, you're going to be still feeling those feelings. But you can't wait to get the house until you feel those to feel those feelings. Do you get what I'm saying? Hello and welcome. I want everybody to jump on and say hello if you are here. So comment away if you're on the Facebook Live. And also if you are watching this on YouTube or any other platforms, feel free to interact with me and tell me what comes up for you. Okay, so that was just a little introductory about receiving what you want, but receiving it now. Before I was a coach, before I was a medium, I had a visualization that I was a coach and a medium. I embodied the visualization. I was being the coach. I was being the medium, but I was not yet the coach or the medium. I held myself as a CEO. I held myself, I played nearly like a game of what it is that I was aspiring to bring in. So instead of going into envy or jealousy when I saw the people doing what I wanted to do, I looked at them with inspiration. And I remember looking at my coach and saying, $10,000 months. Oh my God, that's never going to happen to me. Like, I'm the girl who's been making $16,000 profit in her hairdressing business whilst having 2 little babies. And I'm so grateful for that. My clients are my everything. I've never worked for money. I've always worked because I loved what I did. I loved being a hairdresser, right? I love being a coach. I love being a medium. I love doing magnificent mediumship. Like, I really get off on my job. And yeah, so it was really, really interesting because things just start shifting and changing, and they start happening super fast because when you're embodying the change that you're calling in, that's when you collapse timelines. That's when you quantum leap. And when I was visualizing this coach, this was my coach, I paid her like $1,500 and it was like an arm and a leg. It was like I nearly had to sell a freaking liver, sell a kidney or something. I was like, oh, if I could be anything like you in the future, and if I could make the money to sustain this coaching business and my mediumship, wow, life would be like pretty epic. But I'll never make as much as you. And that's okay. But I will aspire to do so. Because I had that thought, that mindset, and because I didn't function from competition or envy or jealousy, I was like, actually, if you can do it, I can do it as well. What actually happened was amazing. Within a year, within a year, like I'd say within 6 months, I was doing $10,000 months. Within another year, on top of that, I was doing $20,000 months. Within another year, on top of that, I was making $50,000 months. It's insane. Even saying it out loud, I'm talking about 3 years ago, people. I'm not talking about 13 years ago. I had a couple of objections that came in with this being a spiritual boss babe. And this is what I want you to look at today. Here's the thing. Your objections will come up. Your scarcity will come up. We talked yesterday about the 3, the 4, and the 5D. We talked about the shadow self. We talked about the subconscious, right? It is all a part of it. And when they come up, you've got to clean them up. Not like, oh, get away from me, get away from me, get away from me. Sweep it out the door, not like that. But you've got to say, I've never experienced having lots of money before. And I don't know if I want a lot of money because it might create separation between me and my family because no one I know has got a lot of money. Okay, why is this not true? Right, so we talked about this actually on day 1. We talked about mistaken beliefs about money. And we also talked about worthiness and your mistaken beliefs. So we've got to see the mistaken belief so we can change it, people. This is the work to be a spiritual boss babe, right? So this is the first step, is to figure out what your mistaken belief is. This is why my first program was called Release Your Blocks. Because I realized it was a secret to my success was going to be releasing my blocks. And I was like, as I was doing it, I was sharing it with people. And the money was a byproduct of that. So then with this money mindset, I was like, well, hang on a minute. So if I start making fuckloads of money simply as a byproduct of doing what I love, showing up and sharing. And by the way, if you're watching replay, say hello. If you're here now, please come and say hello to me. I'm going to be getting back to all of the comments sometime. And then I was like, if people didn't like me because I was making money, then what does that say about my relationship with them? We've already talked about this, about shrinking ourselves to fit into other people's realities and how it's not really a contribution. And then I was like, if I create money as a byproduct, because energetically I want to keep doing this, so I've got to be able to feed my family and pay for the mortgage and the schooling and all that type of stuff. Of course we require money. I'm a human being, for goodness sakes. I require money to live. And it'd be really nice if I could buy a hat or two. Never had money for that. Never had money to have Botox. Feel all the judgment now. Spiritual person getting Botox? Oh, I even got a boob job. It's funny. It's funny how the human mind works. Would have never in my life thought I'd be able to ever spend money on getting my hair done. I just do it myself. Or buying a nice dress, which is over $100. Holy shit, who do you think you are? And this is who I used to be. I used to think, I'm not worthy of buying a $300 outfit. I get secondhand stuff from my old bosses. Up until 6 years ago, I was getting secondhand clothes, which I love, by the way. You gotta love secondhand clothes. And I would still receive secondhand clothes. But then something happened and I realized I was worthy of having the latest cell phone. Never had it. I said to my husband, you have it, just buy me the cheapest one you can find. I don't need that shit. Because I don't give a shit about things. I care about impact. That was a story I told myself, and that's true. But it doesn't mean I can't enjoy the finer things in life. I wanted a gold watch. Interesting enough, this is an elite one. This cost me $89, down from $160. There was a guess one exactly the same, and it was $400. And my husband said, you know, you can get the $400 one if you want, Victoria. And I said, hey, buddy, which one do I want? Do I want the $400 one, or do I want the guess one, or do I want this elite one? They look exactly the same. I wanted the $89 one. Straight up. I was like, it's actually going to make me feel better buying this one because I like it more. It actually is better. But I had a choice, right? So coming back around and looping around, my money objections, because I know this is coming up for a lot of you. If you're in my vortex, the money thing's going to come up for you because it's been one of my biggest woundings, right? My money objections was, what if I get rejected? What if people think I'm a fraud for charging? What if my mum disowns me? What if I have to give my money away to others that are less fortunate and I've just worked so hard for it? What if I can't hold on to money? What if money doesn't love me? What if shit happens to me because I've got money, because I'm not flying under the radar anymore? And what if everything around me turns to shit because I get money? Oh my God, who the fuck wants money if that shit can happen to you? Money is the root of all evil. Look at those rich people, I won't say the words that people used to say. Look at those yuppies in their convertibles. Who do they think they are? I remember my dad saying yuppies with cell phones when I was a little girl. Now we all have them, right? And yes, I do want a convertible. And then I said, this isn't real. Because what is my truth about money? That doesn't make any logical sense. What, be poor because other people are poor? Then you're all frickin' poor. You can't feed each other. At least if you've got money, you're going to be well resourced. Some of the richest people in the world are the most generous. We've got Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, some of those stars. All Angelina Jolie does is charity work. I don't even know if she does movies anymore. We've got Oprah Winfrey. We've got Tony Robbins. These people, yeah, they charge out of their ass, really. But money is always pumping through. It's an energy. It's never ending. It's not even real, but it's required. They charge, but they give so much more. And this is what I learned to be a spiritual boss babe. I decided to figure out a few things. I'm going to teach you the exact 3 things today that I went through to get to $500,000 years, right? The thing with me is I want to give so much that the thought of people judging me was, I would rather cut myself. Honestly, I'd rather cut myself or just stay low. I don't want to be judged. I'm from a big family. I had the whole don't be a sinner, be generous, all that type of stuff. We were a really beautiful, humble, lovely family. My siblings and I are all best friends, My parents are incredible, very lucky, being brought up in little towns and stuff like that. So my parents did the very, very, very best they could for us. But I realized that I had this really, really deep why. And I also realized that if all these other people could do it, I could do it. And they have a lot of money and they can help people. So I kind of sat with that energy a lot. And I remember watching TV and I remember going, there's people in New Zealand and they're really hungry. They're really fucking hungry. These kids, let's not sugarcoat it. There's kids in our country, in New Zealand. I know you guys from all around the world. Let me know where you are from around the world. There's people around the world, there's children that are starving, there's children that are cold. And even the thought of a child being cold, the thought of a child sleeping on a moldy mattress, the thought of a child eating one meal a day and not being able to go to school because they have only got one uniform for 3 kids. They don't have shoes, they don't have food. The thought of parents drinking alcohol and doing drugs before looking after their children because they're too pissed to even consider that their kids might be hungry. The thought of children getting hurt. The thought of kids overseas literally not having any clothes or any shoes or any homes and starving to death. And the mums keep getting pregnant. It made me sick to my stomach. And I realized that I was pregnant with my son, and I was and Spirit was coming through, and I was having my wake up call, and I realized I don't have any money. I had my 16K profit a year from hairdressing, which paid for the daycare, paid for my kids' clothes, and my husband paid for everything else. There was nothing else. Nothing at all. So I realized to help these children, I had to do something. So I got a box and I put all of my food from my pantry into the box. And it was on the news. It was on 7 Sharp or something like this. And they were talking about these kids, how the mother was like, look, Coke is cheaper than fucking water, all this type of stuff. And these kids were starving and they were from good families. And there wasn't even alcoholism, right? And I was like, I just want to get a box of food to these people. How am I going to get a box of food to these people? And I'm crying, and my auntie comes over, and I was just like, I just need to get some food to these people. And I was just and she's like, here's a packet of super wines. I was like, thank you. And I put them in. And I was like, this should be enough food for about a month. And I'm really I don't watch the news because I'm an empath and it really takes me down. It brings me to tears every single time I watch the news. I can't do it. I have to walk out of the room if I'm at someone's house. I'm like, sorry, I'm not doing this, and I walk out. And then I realized that box of food would feed them for a week or a month or whatever, and then they'd be back to hungry, and I didn't fucking do anything. So I gave the box to my sister, who was a single mum, who was she's like, I'm struggling. And I was like, yeah, you have the box of food. This isn't going to work, Victoria. What are you going to do? What are you going to fucking do? My why is to help children all around the entire world. It got me up this morning. It got me working. It gets me here showing up. It gets me here going, come on, people, wake up. It's time to be a spiritual boss, babe. It is time to make a difference. It is time to turn up your superpowers. Everything I do is for the children of the world. There is children trafficking. There is shit that we won't look at. We don't want to look at because it brings us to our knees. And if anyone took my daughter and she was trafficked, I hope my husband's not listening because he's really empathic as well. I would die inside. I would die inside. So I made it a commitment in my life to become a well-resourced woman, to empower people worldwide, to empower millions of people around the world to know what they know, to turn up their own capacities, to work through their own money shit, their own blocks, their own scarcity, their own rejection, their own shadows, so they can show up to be resourceful, powerful, abundant, happy, joyful, and to see the bigger picture of what's going on here. So that box never got to that family. But I've done consciousness classes for free for children. I've charged $20 to cover the workbooks and the food and the hall, right? I've done 3 of those. I have done workshops for $30 for people to come to. I have done so many free things online. I have wrote down, you guys can do it right now. I've got Soulful Shift, which is a 7-day program you can find on my website, victoriabond.co.nz. I've got the Mediumship Masterclass. It's just 2 off the top of my head. I do them all the time. I do free stuff all the time like this. This is a masterclass which will be, of course, packaged and people can have this in the future, right? Probably go on Facebook ads so I can reach people around the world. We are here to serve people, But if we don't have the energetic balance between the feminine and the masculine, if we have our own money blocks and our own rejection wounds, then what happens is we don't show up, and we're functioning at a tiny amount of the capacity that we actually have available to us. Our potential is so huge for every single one of us. And this is what I love about Magnificent Mediumship. I teach the boundaries, the foundations. I teach how you can have your mindset and be empowered, and how you can connect to humans and spirits alike, the galactic, how you can bring in abundance and be willing for it to come in, to release the old, to clear the ancestral trauma that is coming through. It's a multi-dimensional program. And this is why, Spirit wanted me to create it. Okay, so I can do free things around the world, and then a lot of people come to me and they either watch my free resources or they come to me for one-to-one coaching or my program or my mastermind, right? I don't do it for money, but for me to do it, I require the money. For me to do free programs, I require the money. For me to reach people, for me to help the children of the world. And if I can help one mum stop yelling at her children and start understanding that children are conscious beings that are here to change the entire motherfucking world, and they become more happy. I work with a whole lot of early childhood teachers. They quit their jobs and they learn about consciousness, and they're having a ripple effect on the world. Early childhood teachers come to me. People with young children, they come to me. They do my programs because that is my purpose. Underneath it all, my why gets me out of bed, and I go, there's children that need me around the entire world right now. So what am I doing about it? Because the box of food going to one person is going to cure that starvation for a week. So I was told, you help awaken the seed of consciousness with each person that you come across. And they get to wake up in their own time. They get to choose whether they stay in their shadows and their conditioning and their programming, or whether they're going to wake up and accelerate their lives by opening up into awareness and dropping all judgment of themselves and others. I don't judge the alcoholic parents when their children are starving. I don't judge them. I see them as children that need help, because we are all children. So now, turning this around and coming back to you, I want you just to sit. This is part of your homework here. What is your deep why? What is your why? And the why isn't about, you might want to write this down because you might want to come back to this. Your deep why is not like, okay, so I just want to make this very, very clear, because there's layers, right? So I went to the core layer of what my soul is here to do, and it's to help the children of the world. So I get people messaging me all the time going, my kid's having a night terror, and I go clear them. I do anything for children. Because everything I do is for children, right? Even though I'm not with mine currently, because that's 6 hours away. I'll be with them tomorrow. Yay. I want to be a contribution to the entire world. And I can't do that with nothing. So the layers of the whys, my why isn't because I really want my kids to have motorbikes and have the childhood I didn't have. I really wanted them to have a trampoline, and I really wanted my daughter to do ballet if she wanted to do it. They got all of that stuff. That was all a byproduct. But that's not a deep enough why. When you give up smoking or give up alcohol, doing it for your kids is not big enough. It usually doesn't work, to be honest. I mean, it worked for me because I was pregnant and my little daughter didn't choose to be in my stomach as I was smoking and drinking. So the minute I found out I was pregnant, there was no more, right? But if I was smoking and drinking now, and it was an addiction that I picked up, because we all have addictions of some type, then she's over there. She's separate from me. So it's not going to be deep enough for me to quit. So this is why your why has to go beyond your children, and it has to be you, from your core, from your soul. So my soul's purpose and my mission here, amongst many different missions, is to help the kids of the world and to help the parents, the practitioners. So then that's my core why. And then I come up to the next thing, and that is I'm going to help the practitioners, I'm going to help the coaches, I'm going to help the people that have got spiritual gifts, and I'm going to help the mums, and I'm going to help everybody be embodied and empowered within themselves so they can make a ripple effect of change throughout the world in their auras and in how they're showing up in their magnificence, whether it's online, whether it's a business. I've worked with somebody who's got a product line, and I helped her. She was just my friend, it wasn't coaching. I've helped her see her magnificence within the product line so she could accelerate not just her income, but her impact. It's always impact, and then the money follows, right? Why did I do this? Because I know she can make a ripple effect of change in the world. I desire for people to be successful and to out-create me, because the ripple effect for the children in the world, yesterday, the self and the collective, will clean up the rubbish in the world, cleans up the shitty people that are taking the children and treating the children like shit. There is some shitty people out there. Clean up. Why wouldn't the hell I do it? We talked about responsibility yesterday and how it's your responsibility to show up and do your part in this world. But if you are functioning from money scarcity, insecurity, lack of confidence, rejection, wounds, you're not going to show up. And today we've got blue. I've got these blue crystals. I've got my blue cup. I'm wearing blue. I've got the Mary here. This is my auntie's. We've got lots of Marys around here. Very, very Catholic. And I work a lot with Mary. And Mary Magdalene and Mary Salome. And this is the divine feminine energy. And this is what the world needs right now. What is your why? What is your why? What is your why? Close your eyes. Open your crown and let your higher self just drop into your heart. What is my why? It may not be words, it might be energy. Feel it. What is the thing that would get me out of bed every day? And it's not just your job. What would get me out of bed every day to make a difference in this world? Put in the chat box, what is your why? Write it down. Your why should bring you down to your knees and into tears. Children starving brings me to tears. I don't feel sorry for the children. I really don't. Because why would I feel sorry for a being that is completely whole and choosing experience? I don't ever feel sorry for children, but I know if I can help them by helping the consciousness of the world, then they will have a lot more ease with learning, with growing, with shifting. I don't feel sorry for them because I don't want to feed that energy of, oh, poor you. I flow them love, and I flow them power and magic. I dive on over to those poor countries where the children are starving, and I just, every day in my meditations, every day in my groups, in my Evolve and Spiritual Line membership and Magnificent Mediumship, we travel with our meditations and we explode our light and we ask for our light to touch the souls of who are struggling. We're making a difference by doing that. And this is why to be a spiritual boss babe, you start and you feel it in your body, you feel it in your soul. One day I'm going to get that house. It's in my vortex. One day I'm going to get it. But right now I'm here and it's okay because I'm going to get exactly what I require and desire in the perfect timing, and I'm going to embody that feeling now of having what it is I desire, whether it's a coaching, whether it's money, whether it's the house or the car or the lover, or the ripple effect of change that you are creating in the world. It starts here. It starts now. To be a boss babe is to go this big first. And when I was standing there pregnant, watching the news and filling up the box, trying to, how am I going to get the box of food to the starving family? Fuck, why is this happening in our country? Like, I was in my ego. I was freaking out. The poor kids, I was thinking. And I had a little voice saying, this isn't helping. I like what you're doing, but that box of food is it's only going to ease their hunger for a week or so, Victoria. You got to go bigger. My why rolls me out of bed every day. It makes me do the podcasts. I get to do the podcast. I get to do the YouTube. I get to do this free training. I get to serve every day. So much so that I wanted to clean up all the energy and I want to go bigger and reach more people. So right now I've had a week by myself without my children. People go, what are you doing? You're not even with your kids. And I go, I'm making a difference. And my children are with their dad at the moment. And he's a stay-at-home full-time dad who works very hard for us in our business. We do homeschooling. My kids are fine. I made sure I chose a partner who parents just as much as me. I created all of this. And I'm still creating and I've just begun. Why am I telling you all of this? Because if you can find it in your heart and in your soul and you can find what that why is, and yes, I do have meditations about this, finding your bigger why, and something I could share with you, of course, on this page, Psychic Medium Victoria Bond. This is everything I do with all of my clients. It's always tapping into that bigger why. What is your why? Put it in the chat box. What is my bigger why for living here in this world? So yeah, we can get confused and we go, well, my family's the why, my children are the why. We can definitely, we're human and that's a priority. Okay, so the priority is our children, of course. If we've got children and a partner, we've got to look after our human. That's super important. But there's something else within you that you can activate. And it's a thing that brings you to tears. It's the thing that makes you think like, if I could change that, I would change that. But it's something that you're very, very passionate about, and there's something you can do. And this is why in Magnificent Mediumship, we do the meditations. We play with the crystals. We raise the vibration, and we come from a space of all rising together. There is no hierarchy, guys. There's no hierarchy. And there's plenty of clients and there's plenty of money. There's plenty of everything in the world. But we seem to forget that because we came into this human race kind of, and especially in this last, since the wars and stuff, like the 1900s. And it was kind of like we had this collaboration of all fighting together and stuff. But then it was kind of like the rations of food. This is yours, this is yours, this is yours, this is yours. Can you not see that everything that has happened is conditioning to create separation, to create anti-consciousness? And if we actually come together and realize we're more community, that's what I love about Teal Swan. She's got a Teal Swan community with thousands and thousands of people. They all want to go live out and swap all their food and all that type of stuff. Contra deals type of thing. I'm not ready for that. I really like my own space. But the point being, we're all community. And if you can sit with what is my deepest why, and you will find this in meditation, right? That is when you can make your own prayer. Dear God, angels, my higher self, source energy, divine, the universe, I'm here to make a difference. Please show me what that is. Allow me to make that difference every day in my everyday life as I look after my children, as I go to my daily job. Help me to be discerning with energy and understand when I need to clean out, to entity clear. Help me to understand my purpose and my mission here so I can live it every day, even if I don't know what it is. I found out what mine was because every day I prayed and every day I meditated. And then it comes to you and you're like, what? Is that my why? To help child trafficking. That's a weird why. What? I'm meant to make a difference. Where do I fit into this category? Well-resourced women and men that are conscious and are in awareness and here to be a contribution will and are changing the world. I would like to be a change maker, a path creator. As a projector, I would like to help people become more efficient in their businesses, to do my programs, all my free programs, either or, and change the world. Why do people keep coming to me? I want to just do free stuff, right? And I was like, well, I have got to get paid to feed the family, yada, 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 yada. And then it's like people need more. They need one-to-one coaching to help clean out the old mistaken beliefs. They need help. I need coaching. I have coaching all the time. I've paid over $200,000, I think, in the last few years on coaching. So people can help me with my blind spots, my unconscious stuff, my gaps, my blocks, right? It's not because I'm codependent. It's because I am here and I'm not playing, right? Like, I'm here for big things, and I'm going to die on that deathbed, and I'm going to go, I did everything in my power to make a difference in this world. And I'll never know the difference that I did make. And most of you who watch this won't even say you watched it. I don't know what type of effect this is having, but I have to have trust and faith and surrender that whatever I do as a spiritual boss babe is making an impact, and I will be able to feed my family by doing so, because my human has to be looked after, of course. So going into your why, if you start feeling heavy and go, I don't know what my why is, don't freak out. Just pray. Set intentions. I am here for the highest good of all mankind. I put myself first, because you got to look after yourself. You got to put your oxygen mask on before anybody else is on the plane. 101. You look after yourself. That's not selfish. It's selfish to give up yourself for others, because you're not doing your responsibility here on earth as being a human, a really good human. To be a good human is to take responsibility for yourself first and then help others when you've got the energy to do so. So the next thing is, calling in and doing the money work. So I touched base on that. So I realized that people don't judge me. I judge myself. So if you're judging me about money, I've probably got some money stuff. If you're judging others, it's about you. If I'm judging others, it's about me. We talked about awareness and judgment yesterday. So if I've got a trigger because somebody's got money and I don't, and they don't need to worry about, or usually for me, it's more about time. I think, oh my gosh, I'm so busy. I don't have enough time. Like, I go to my ego, and then I'm like, these people have got so much time and they have so much money. Because I'm a projector, I really do require a lot of time out. So if I feel like I'm busy and I can't see the end of that road, I'm like, I need time. It's one of my woundings that, I'm fine most of the time, but my not self theme comes in, and then I'm like, I'm tired, I need time. And so I always check in for that and give myself the time before I go into the struggle. And that's the thing, we need to see where these wounds are. So coming back to that money, I really realized big time that the more money I have, which comes to me easily, it's just about receiving. There's plenty in the world. You're not taking it from anybody else's pocket. This is the truth. You just simply create it because you're desiring to receive it. What can happen is I can help more people and do more stuff like this for free. Because if I didn't have money to feed my family next week, I couldn't do this. I'd be doing readings and charging or hairdressing. You see? You see the difference? Because I'm allowing myself to receive money, I can do free stuff. Some of the people who have done MM and other programs as well, one person received $100,000. She didn't ask for it. She quit her job and her boss said, here's $100,000. Thank you. What? She'd been working with me for a couple of months. Another person, within a couple of days and working on my program, was gifted a car. Another person, actually 2 or 3 people have got their inheritance early when they're doing my programs. Someone got engaged after 20 years, like literally just in the middle of the class. People get promotions. People leave their jobs. They change their businesses. They create their own businesses. They move towns. Every single program I've done, people have huge changes from the moment they say, I want to do that program. I'm choosing to do that program. Not like, I wish I had the money for that program. More like, I'm doing the program. That is what's happening. Whether it's on a payment plan or whether it's full time, like paid in full, sorry. People get shit. because all of a sudden I've triggered them, or I've shifted them, or all of a sudden they've just decided I really need to work with that Victoria Bond, and then things happen. One person who just did was getting gifts. So she did a reading, or she did a couple of mini readings for people, and then all of a sudden gift baskets and stuff kept showing up. She kept winning stuff. My point being is money doesn't come from just your job. If your point of view is that it comes from your 40 hours a week where you're working, that's exactly where the money will come from. But if your point of view is that I am a lover of money, because the more money I have, the more resources I have, the more I can help the world, the more I can do free programs, the more I can help people. I can go over to one of those countries and build them like a house within the village, or get some wells for them, or I could buy, like a whole container full of blankets and send them out to all the poor people, to all the people who, all the children at least, because it's not their choice, or I can feed a whole lot of people if there's a flood. I can help. When we have money, we can have more resources. And the thing about this, and this is what I want you to really understand, is if you were thinking about an online business, I talked about this yesterday, there are so many free resources. And this is what I acknowledged. Gratitude, they want me to talk about gratitude, which I will in a minute, is everything. I am so grateful for Facebook right now because I get to talk to you. Actually, I am so grateful for Messenger because I get to talk to my friends. I am so grateful for Calendly links. So today I booked in 3 podcasts. People are going to come on and talk about and all the amazing things that have happened in their life in 10 weeks. Their whole lives changed. Insane. I am so grateful for, what is the other thing? Canva. So I can create beautiful graphics, even if I don't have a virtual assistant. I have a virtual assistant now because I'm going to be clever with my resources, outsource my things so I can reach more people and do things like this. This is what a boss babe is about. This is what about being a CEO is about going, just for today, I'm going to show up. Just for today, I'm going to do my best. Just for today, I'm going to look after myself before anyone else. I wake up and I do my journaling. I have my coffee. I have my crystals. I do my pendulum and my cards. I sit with the energy of, oh my God, I messaged my friend before, Tina. I don't know if she's here. And I was like, it's a sunny day. I'm not high like that every day. Sometimes I'm empathing on people and I've got to go journal that out, pull the card on that, do the pendulum on that, look at the candle, clean it and clear it and activate it. I look after me. Then I look after my kids. And I know. Some people are like, I just don't have the space. I never used to have the space either. And I understand if they're under 5 years old, holy shit, it is next level. You just don't sleep for the first 5 years. But then it gets easier. And if I've got to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go for a run, to do my yoga, to have a drink, and I'm a projector, I don't have a lot of energy. If I've got to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, because I have needy children or something, which I have very easy children now, actually. They're amazing, very self-sufficient. I will do that because my why is great. It's huge. My bigger vision is bigger than everything in the entire world, and I can't afford to care about the haters or if I'm triggering people. Yeah, my ego sometimes gets wounded, but I can't afford to. And when I get wounded, it's just me, my little ego, my little wounds from my childhood or my upbringing, or not even my upbringing, sorry. I have great parents, but we all have wounds. So what are your money wounds? What was the first memory you have of money? Mine was not being able to afford to go to swimming pools and having to ask my great-grandmother for $2. Watching my parents struggle. How they're going to pay the bills. They worked very, very hard. They always made sure we had everything we needed, but there was not really any extra. Great parents. I had great, great, great parents. I do have great parents. And just because I have great parents doesn't mean that I have to have that money mindset. I can have more. and I can make a big difference. I'm not choosing to have 5 children. I'm choosing to have my 2, and I'm choosing to be a mother archetype for the entire world with all the children, and those children I'll never ever meet, but I will clear them every single day, and I will flow them my love every single day, and I will show up here and I will offer my magnificent mediumship so you can do the same. And I will hold you when you cry. And I will help balance you and clear you every day. This is the mother archetype that I wanted to bring in today, is to go, I've got people that look after me. I've got my best friends. I've got my husband. I've got my coach. I support me. I hold me. So then I can hold many. But I don't have the capacity to help many if I can't hold me. And I never used to be able to hold me. I'd be crying trying to put this food in the box. Go, yeah, I help the children. It's not helping anyone. That didn't help. Maybe it helped my sister because I gave her all my food. And then we had no food. So I was like, I'm taking food from my children's mouths and I want to give it to another child's mouth. But now I've got to replace that food. So now I've got to go work and get $30 profit from the $100 cut and color. And like, it's just a cycle. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. This is the cycle that my parents did and the cycle other people did. Survival. I'm not here for survival. I'm here to thrive. So how am I going to do that? I don't even know what I'm going to do. But then it all came to me because I made a choice to make a difference in the world and to live. Right? Love your truth. Thank you. So how is this landing for you? Pop it in the chat box. What are you feeling? Because I know there's going to be some triggers, and I know there's going to be some parts of your body, if you haven't jumped off, some of you won't be able to handle it and you'll be like, no, too much truth, I'm out. No. Let's go find anything to distract from the truth of money and why I don't have any, or why I feel guilty for having some. So people that have money are too afraid to say they've got money because they don't want to trigger people and people think it's rude. Can we please eliminate and destroy that right now? Money is energy. It's energy. You like people have got shoes, and you know, I know some people have got I know people that have got 100 pairs of shoes. I've got 3. I'm like whatever. I'd probably have 100 hats. I will have 100 hats one day. But it's we're afraid to say we've got so many different things. But why, some of us wouldn't judge people for saying they had 100 pairs of shoes, but then we judge them when they say, yeah, I've got $100 million. It's ridiculous, because if someone else has that money, you can have it. They just were more clever and they were willing to receive it. So wherever you've got scarcity mindset because you're afraid of pissing someone off or upsetting them, or you're scared someone's going to take it away from you, or you can't trust yourself with money, these are the things you need to clean up and go, what is my actual truth? What is my truth? So doing the money work is huge. The why doing the money work. And then the next thing is the manifesting, right? So it's the manifesting and the abundance. You can ask for abundance until the cows come home. Can I please have some abundance? Can I please have some abundance? I want abundance. I want abundance. I want abundance. You'll get abundance. But what type of abundance are you going to get? You can get an abundance of absolute shit. Just your whole life turning to garbage. You're going to get abundance of that if that's the vibration that you're holding. But if you say, I would like an abundance of joy, of happiness, of wealth, show me. Show me, God, universe, source, energy. Show me what an abundance of wealth and love and expansion looks like. And then what you need to do is you need to put yourself in the vortex. Abraham Hicks is great for talking about that. Put yourself in the vortex and go, what would I be wearing? What would I be thinking? What would the mindset be like? What would my words be like? Who would I be hanging out with? What would I be reading? What would I be watching on TV? How would I be showing up every single day? What does this, $1 million version of me, millions of dollars in it, what does she look like? How does she feel? What does she do on her everyday job? How does she not bring the money in, but what does she do, which is a contribution to the world that she gets paid for because it's so easy for her or him to do? And you ask those questions. and then magic happens. You're in the vortex, you're feeling it. You're feeling your relationship is amazing. You're with your kids and with your family and with your friends and with your clients and with your colleagues. And then you're like, and I have dresses and hats. And, oh, I could get some tattoos. That would be so much fun. Oh, I've always wanted like the short blonde hair, but I've never wanted the maintenance. But yeah, I would have that. Yep, for sure. You know, I would have lots of earrings to choose from, and I would talk, and I would have a house by the ocean, and you start bringing up this and you're like, ah! It's like amazing, right? My friend calls it manifest journaling. I just talk it out. I'm on the beach and I'm like, and then I have a spa, and I drink champagne when I want to, and I can go out whenever I want. I don't have to look at the bank account because there's money always in there. And I have these clients that want to evolve and shift and grow. And, you know, and then my children are so happy and they get to have what they want, but we're just like, we're friends. We're all hanging out. Oh, it feels so good. And then what you do is you play that out. You watch what you're watching on TV. You watch your mindset. You watch your words. You watch the energy you're bringing to things. You clean everything up so you can be a pure, clean channel for the world. Is this making sense with you? Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me know. Let me know. How does this feel for you? Are you still here? Let me know. Let me know. How does this land for you? This is what I did to make my business and impact bigger, and I've just begun. And these are my dreams, of course. You have to add yours onto that, right? So then what I did is I splashed out and I bought a hat. And I bought a dress. And I was like, oh, this feels really uncomfortable spending money on myself. I bought myself some crystal bracelets. I got myself a watch. See, people are laughing. I don't know why. I got myself some lipstick and I was like, maybe I could go short blonde because I've always wanted to and have some red lips. I was like, oh my God, this feels so good and I feel so naughty because I'm spending money on myself. And then I started making more money, not because of my looks, but because I felt empowered. The whole tattoos thing, my husband was always like, stay away from the tattoos, never do tattoos. Tattoos are gross. And I'm like, sorry, mate. You married a hairdresser. Like, you've seen my hair, every color, shaved off, all the things. Because, of course, you experiment in hairdressing. And I was like, I want tattoos. I've got a mermaid on there, right? My whole sleeve is done by an artist. Like, I love it. I want to feel sexy. I want to feel feminine. I want to be at the beach and I want to spend time with my children, and I don't want to be working 24/7 for money to feed them. I want to thrive. So I started going to the beach every day because I couldn't live there. And I started wearing my one hat, getting used to it, right? Then I bought another hat, and then I bought another dress. And then I bought another lipstick. And then I bought myself some Doc Martens and Converses last year. The first time I've ever had Doc Martens and Converses. I never allowed myself to have them because I thought only people with money had Converses or Doc Martens. I cried. I cried because I got some Doc Martens last year. Like, it sounds kind of ridiculous, but this goes to show how much I never had money. From 16 years old, I wanted Doc Martens, never had any. The funny thing is, you can probably buy them secondhand for $100, right? Still wouldn't let myself have them because if I did that, it means I'd made it. Like, this is the money mindset I'm talking about. I came from nothing at all. We didn't have Barbies or anything like that. We had each other. We had a very incredible life, you know, playing at the beach. I called it in, I made it all into my vortex, right? And this is the thing I want you to get. So we've done the why, we've done the money, and this is the other thing. You've got to do the work. You've got to do your 50% because I said to the universe, this is what I'm calling. And one of my friends who's on this live stream here, and I don't know if she's still on here, but She's watched me do this. She's been with me for the last 3 years every day, watching me do this. And I said, show me what to do. I surrender, God. And the most beautiful thing happened. All of a sudden, there was this bars class. And I was like, I've got to do that. I don't even know what it is. I went and did it. It was like a consciousness class. And the next minute, our little town with just a few thousand people in it, I'm doing all these workshops all the time. And I was like, this is so funny. Is this what I'm meant to be doing? It felt good. So I went with the feeling. So it's the house is over there, the big target, the big goal is over there type of thing. And this felt and aligned with the goal, with the target. And I felt juiced up and I knew it was going to work. And I started investing money because, of course, I wanted to upskill myself in everything that I did so I could reach people and help people. And I got my first coach and I was like, $1,500, sell an organ. My husband's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I worked so hard to make that $1,500. So hard. So I get it. When people give me money, I get it. And then it just kind of kept going. I kept staying in the vortex. I kept looking at the vision. I kept asking, is this next step in alignment with where I'm going? And I listened to my intuition. And if it was a yes, and this is what I do in EMM, I teach people how to listen to their intuition, how to align with their HD, how to know their boundaries and their standards and to release their blocks, how to tap into the spiritual side. I teach all of what I did. The next minute, I'm going over to Australia because someone said, come over and do a bars class over here. And I said, I don't like flying. I don't know how to fly. I hate airports. But I actually love flying. I just hate airports because I don't get it. I'm dyslexic. To fill out a form for me is like, I get anxiety. I start freaking out. My husband's always been with me. If we've ever, very rarely done stuff like that. But when we have, he's been with me because I don't do documents, writing out stuff because I'm dyslexic. It freaks me out. I have a panic attack. I was like, is this in alignment with where I'm going to my bigger vision? Yes, it is. Fuck, I'm going to Adelaide. I went to Adelaide where I met my best friend, one of my best friends. That makes me want to cry because I sat down next to her and I was like, whoa, and I didn't realize we'd be soul sisters for the rest of our lives. That was in alignment with my path because I met my best friend, right? And then I went to, I don't know, like Gold Coast or wherever, like it was somewhere over there. And I did another bars class because I was invited. Wow, that was amazing. And then I did like 50 classes, like within 2 years of consciousness and readings and mediumship and da-da-da and da-da-da. Next time I'm doing readings. And I just kept saying, is this next thing in alignment with my purpose? And one thing I didn't do is I didn't stop myself because I was scared. Because the whole entire way, I was scared. Really scared. To the fact that I was going, I'd get off a call from Release Your Blocks and I'd say to my husband, I don't know if I did okay. I would do a reading and I'd go, I don't know if it was good enough. I was so scared. And then I remembered every time when I felt like I hadn't done good enough or maybe I wanted to be better. You know, I've always wanted to be better than I am. And I will be better. I will always get better and better and better and better and better. Because I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm a 3-5 projector. But I kept saying, no, it was fucking perfect. Everything you did was fucking perfect. It has to be because you did your 50%, Victoria, and the universe is doing theirs. All the universe has to do is give you the opportunity in front of you. So mine was, my first coach. She showed up and I feel like a connection with you. I messaged her and she had a program that fitted for me, even though it didn't make sense and I didn't know what I was doing. And I didn't even look at what the program was. I was just kind of like, I need to work with you. I don't know why, but you've actually energetically pulled me in because I understood energy at this stage. And the long and the short of it is my life changed. Within a year, I was making $10,000 a month instead of just a few thousand. When I went to Adelaide and I ended up with $3,000 profit after paying for all the things, and I paid the host as well. I said, oh, here, have a big chunk of the money, because I used to throw my money away a lot, right? As well, and I was very grateful for the opportunity, especially because I met my bestie. The thing that happened was I thought I was so rich, but I just spent 2 or 3 days away, traveling and being away, working my ass off. I didn't get to experience like any of Adelaide, but I did love teaching because that's what I love doing. And I came back and I was fucked for a month. So I realized I can't function like this, and I can't do these classes in person all the time, because even though I'm so grateful for them, we've got to experience things, and then we've got to look at them and go, what do I love about this and what don't I, and how can I adjust it and reassess it? Everything is a test to see what you love, and then you shift it, but you don't give up. And then I went online. I was like, I'm going to go online and I'm going to start a group page. And I was like, I don't want to. I don't like online. Computers hate me. They break on me. I don't do computers. I've got a little shitty Nokia phone. I don't want to do anything. But it was in alignment with my bigger goal. So I did it. People want the bigger goal, but they don't want to do the work, and they want to sit there and just expect the universe to give it to them. But you have to do your 50%. If you don't do your 50%, you're not going to get where you want to go. And this is everywhere, okay? So I know I'm talking about my experience, I'm talking about my coaching and stuff like that, and it's not going to resonate 100% with you because I'm not you. But I want you to feed the energy, feel the energy of it, right? What is your why? What is your objections to living a life that is full of abundance and joy and love and expansion and all the things? What are your objections there? And are you willing to do the 50%? When I said, hands up, God, help me. I was like, I don't even know if I believe in God anymore. Like, I'm done. I'm done. Help me. What will I do? The next thing, I found out what my why was. And it's the thing that brings me to my knees with the children. It's the thing that makes me want to throw up, because I'm like, nope, okay, all right. So what can I do instead of empathing on it? People being in poverty and being poor, and now it's like, no, people living week to week and really struggling to see if they can pay for a coffee or not. I'm like, oh my God, come on, people, there is another world. I know how it feels, because only 3 years ago, I looked at my bank account and I went, I said to my friend, Katie, we're walking along, and I said, I can't afford a fucking coffee. And I know I'm on the right trajectory. I know where I'm going is there, but right now I'm investing because I knew what I was doing. I was following the steps of what I felt was energetically correct for where I was going. I knew what I was doing. And she bought me a coffee, and I was like, this will be the last time that I will look at that bank account and see if I can afford a coffee. She had to buy it for me. I'm never going to feel that way again. Never. And I'm going to empower other people who are struggling with their why, with what to do in their life. I'm going to empower them with magnificent mediumship. With my membership's like $33 a week. It's ridiculous. So I can reach everyone. And then I've got my mastermind for those who are really doing the work, the high level consciousness work. I've got free programs everywhere for those who can't afford it, because I could not afford it and I needed help. I really did. I needed help. And I had a few people that did help me and make me realize I wasn't crazy in my spiritual awakening. Being a spiritual boss babe is about owning who you are, having a really good relationship with spirit, and it's about doing the work that feels good and energetically in alignment to where you want to go for the bigger vision. So I'm going to go on YouTube, and I am going, it may work, it may not, but it feels energetically correct. I did this masterclass. I had to cancel the first one because I got sick and my energy was low. And I trust that by doing this, it's going to help and give a ripple effect of change in the world. I trust that people that have been called to Magnificent Mediumship certification, which isn't just about talking to spirit, it's about a holistic approach, will message me. I trust that this is an invitation for those who are hearing this, whether this is now at this date or whether this is in 6 months' time or even 6 years' time. We're on the 6th of May 2022 today. But time isn't linear. So you may hear this, you might see this in a different platform, literally in 2 years' time, and go, it's still relevant because we're talking about collective, we're talking about purpose, we're talking about humans. We all are capable of tapping into our potentials, like our possibilities. And there is no, and we all have money stuff. We all have wounds. Be many, 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 many whys, and you may never be able to put your words to what your why is. I've got many whys, but that's my main one, right? That I get out of bed, as soon as I think about it, I jump. I grab my coffee. I grab my journaling. I'm the laziest person you've ever met. I'm the person, if I could stay in bed until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I would. Because I'm a projector and I love lying around and being comfortable. I don't have time for that. I'm here living. I would love to know what your biggest takeaway is from this. I would love, love, love to know. And if you have not done Magnificent Mediumship or any of my free programs, you can check out my free programs on victoriabond.co.nz. If you are ready to do one-to-one coaching with me, which is my high level, my high ticket offer, or you're ready to do the let me know, because, or even spiritually aligned or evolve, pretty much, guys. At the moment, I am promoting Magnificent Mediumship because this is what is coming up. But pretty much I have an array of everything from free to low price to programs to one-to-one to the absolute elite, where people have been doing this work for so long and they require, like what I require from my coach, which is support and expanding on a greater scale to make a bigger impact. I have enjoyed, I know I've gone over time. This is what usually happens with me because I love talking. I have enjoyed this absolutely immensely. Thank you so much. It has been an absolute alignment for me to be here with you today. I am so honored for those of you who have listened to this entire masterclass or and have been here the other days as well. I want to say thank you for creating this with me. And I would just love to know. So if you could just, even share on Psychic Medium with Victoria Bond, share your takeaways, or I would just love to hear, can you do your part in a ripple effect? If you've loved this, please share what you loved about it in the group. Please share it in this thread. I will be getting to people as soon as I can, and answering any questions that you have. Okay. Sending you all so much love. You are all such a contribution to me. And I will see you soon. Or I'll see you somewhere in this digital world. Lots of love. Bye.